All right, this week's question of the week comes from one of my students, Gus, who asked, do I think a person training Brazilian Jiu Jitsu should also cross-train in another martial art, like a striking martial art, to be a more well-rounded fighter, say in a street fight? And I thought it was a great question, and that's why I made it this week's question of the week. So my answer is absolutely. Absolutely. The more you can study other martial arts, say you're training Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, there's no reason not to also, train wrestling. Like some of my best students, train Brazilian Jiu Jitsu with me, and then they're also on the high school wrestling team. Or they also do judo. And the same thing applies to the striking arts. Like, if when I in the 80s, mind you, that to some people that seems a lifetime ago, but in the 80s I used to box, and those were very valuable skills when it came to any kind of street fight or just as a martial artist in general. So if you're looking at learning other striking styles to complement your Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to be a more well-rounded fighter, I think that's phenomenal. Like, I'm all for it. Whether you cross-train in boxing or Muay Thai or karate or whatever style you want, or Krav Maga. There's things that you can learn from these arts that can improve your overall skills as a martial artist. So I'm all for it. Plus, it gives you the option, if you are in a street fight, and let's say you're a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt like me, and like for whatever reason, it's like I do not want to go to the ground. Maybe there's multiple people in here, or maybe I'm looking at this guy and I know he's a grappler too. Well, maybe start off striking, see how that works out. And if you've been training boxing or Muay Thai, you may be able to just finish it on the feet. And one of the reasons I'm really an advocate for training in other styles besides just your primary style that you train in is that whoever the founder is of your martial art, whether it's Elio and Carlos Gracie for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, or Jigoro Kano for Judo, or Young Soo Choi for Hapkido, and you go on down the list. They were all amazing martial artists, but every great idea was not discovered by them. Like, there can be other great ideas. There can be other enhancements to your martial art and to your fighting style that was not thought of by those founders. And so if you're cross-training in, say, Muay Thai, you might, pick up some very, critical skills that will enhance your Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or whatever your primary martial art is. Same thing, with Krav Maga or, Judo, So I think the more well-rounded you are as a martial artist, the better your chances are of a successful outcome if you had to use these arts for self-defense. So, the better you are, wherever the fight goes, the better your chances are for a good outcome. So that's my answer to this week's question of the week. Got any insights, comments? Feel free to share your experiences below or share your beliefs. If you think I'm wrong, man, feel free to type that in, and we'll all learn and grow. And until next week, ciao.